platforming games. I wanted to make a video on the Wii U's Super Mario 3D World, but I don't own a capture card. So instead, here's VVVVV.
How the fuck do you say that?
6 Vs is a retro-style 2D platformer by Terry Kavanagh and... oh, I guess that's it. Good game, Terry. I'm impressed. In V to the 6th power, you control Captain Viridian, the world's most adorable space captain. Just look at this little blue blob. He's sad because his friends might all be dead. You control Capitano Viridano after his ship crashes into another dimension? Because that's a thing that happens? During the evacuation, his crew becomes separated and it's up to you as everybody's favorite light blue-green alien to save them. Cool. It's hardly Shakespeare, but I'm not playing platformers for the story. Unless it's Donkey Kong, that plot is amazing. Will he ever get his bananas? Riveting. When playing through Super Mario World, I often find myself thinking, jumping? What is this, 1981? I'm no young man, I'm fat and lazy. I want to move around without using any energy at all. Luckily, Cap V over here knows where it's at. If he wants to get from one platform to another, he inverts gravity's control over himself. And only himself. I don't really get the science of this universe, but hey, neither does the game. It's never really explained why you can do this. You start flipping around and Viridian acts like it's no big deal. So I figured that was just how things work in this universe, but later, when you start finding your crew, you'll find you're the only one who can do it, so I guess it's a superpower limited to seafoam-colored people? Also, you can only invert gravity while standing on the ground, or by running into one of those string things. Once you flip gravity, you have no control over your speed, but you have full control over your direction mid-air, which at least makes more sense than controlling your jump mid-jump. The first thing you will notice when playing through VVVVVV is the score, composed by Magnus. Magnus. First off, good name, dude. I can dig it. Second, holy fucking shit, this music. Beethoven and all those other dead nerds can rot for all I care. This is where it's at. Wait, when did Beethoven die? 1827? Oh. He's already rotted. Yeah. Second thing you'll notice when playing is that it's fucking bullshit. It's hard, but only sometimes in a fair way. In general, it's a mixture of reflex and planning-based challenges, but you don't always get a good look at the area you have to get through. So it's a lot of trial and error as you flip through one screen only to find that the next screen has nothing but spike traps. You're expected to die. I mean, half of the achievements are based on finishing the game under certain numbers of deaths. Luckily, they do a decent job at placing checkpoints enough that it doesn't get too arduous, but if you're not the kind of person who can find some enjoyment out of dying for the sake of learning, this probably won't be your cup of tea. Then there are the sections that are hard for all sorts of different reasons. Take this one section where you have to escort your ship's resident red shirt through a series of obstacles on the way back to the ship. As a red shirt, he dies. A lot. And he seems to know it because he looks to you for constant guidance. He moves towards you so long as you're standing on the ground. But if you're on the ceiling, I guess he loses sight of you, because he just sits there until you're back on the floor with him. The problem is, he doesn't move exactly where you are, he moves several feet behind you, so you often have to run out into danger to get him to move to a safe spot and then try to get back to where it's safe before you die and have to start over. And even when you get him safely from one screen to the next, but then die, he feels bad for you and runs back to the beginning of the screen where you respawn so that you don't get lonely. Vermilion, I got you to safety, you fucking asshole, just wait over there! And yes, you may have noticed that both Vermilion and Viridian begin with V, along with your other teammates, Violet, Verdigris, Vitalary, and Victoria? I'm sorry, what? Everyone else has a color theme! I mean, I think Vitalary does. But Victoria? How does Victoria equal dark blue? Is it supposed to be a joke that her name isn't a color? Or did you just run out of V colors? Just call her very blue. Maybe. Also, I just noticed you have 6 crew members whose names all start with V. So you're the 6 V's. Like the title? See, until now, like looking at it, when they're all put together, it's down and up and down and up and down and up. Like you move in the game. So, am I stupid? The first teammate you'll find is Violet. Although technically she finds you. She's still on the ship, and she helps you get back there through a teleporter. So I don't think she's rescued. I'm pretty sure she was the only one safe to begin with. It should say she rescued me. When you exit the ship, you have to navigate the dimension in order to find the rest of your crew. You have a blank map with a few points of interest labeled on it, and there you go. This is probably the weakest part of the game. Most of the map is blank or has a couple of blocks here or there. Sometimes there's a spike. Or a giant strobe light elephant that's crying that makes you sad. You'll always know if you're getting close to an area that matters because of 2 things. 1, the music will change from the awesome general world music to the awesome music corresponding to whatever area you're in. And B, just like people, important areas are labeled with names. Sometimes these are hints, sometimes they're descriptions, sometimes they exist to mock you. Yeah, thanks, Terry, you piece of shit! Now seems as good a time as any to mention the controls. Assuming you're using a controller, like you should be, you'll be using the A button to flip gravity and the joystick to move left or right. That's all you need to get through an area. Yes, there are buttons to open the menu and interact with people, but the purposes of actual gameplay only require 3 inputs, which is good. Are you tired of trying to play a simple game, but the game expects you to be able to do more than 2 things at a time? Let's face it, I'm just a man with a semi-developed brain. I can't keep up with all these buttons. Fortunately for you, VVVVVV has you covered. For real though, considering all the accessibility options in the menu meant for gamers who may be movement impaired, I wouldn't be that surprised if the simplistic design choice and controls was meant for them as well as to match the general simplicity of the game. In which case, good on you, Terry. It's actually really cool to see those kinds of options. You can turn things like screen effects off to make it easier on your eyes. You can slow down your character. Give yourself immunity in order to get through hard sections. It's really cool, and while I didn't need these options because I'm fortunate enough not to need them, it put a smile on my face to see that that was in the menu. So, you find your team all over the world, pick up trinkets along the way, consider the deeper meaning of life as you avoid obstacles such as lies, factories, and capitalism. You find yourself in a strange area that doesn't have your map. Utilizing all of the skills you've developed so far and jamming along to the awesome soundtrack, you find a terminal holding this strange dimension together. It warns you that turning it off will fuck shit up. So you turn it off. Viridian is surprised by the shit fucking up happening around him and bounces right on out of there. Eventually you make it to the end and get ejected into space to float away forever. Or your team picks you up. Then Viridian explains that it's up to you to help stabilize this dimension, which you fucked up, as well as the dimension that the crew is from. Because I guess their dimension is broken too? Cue the credits! You're allowed to go back into the world, find any secrets you missed, or start doing challenge modes. Also, you were in a band all along. I guess. All in all, I finished the game in about 2.5 hours. I found almost all of the trinkets and died 0 times. That's what it says right there. 'Cause I'm good. Short, sweet, only occasionally infuriating. Was it a good game? Yeah. Would I recommend it? Depends. Like dying? Go for it. Like awesome music? Buy the soundtrack. I liked it, except for that one part. You know, this one.